All right, so now to the Barney Code Lightning Round. The questions. So the first thing that comes to mind, don't think about it. 30 seconds to 45-second answers. This is raw, off the cuff. What's going on? This not rehearsed. So what's the money habit for question one? So what's the money habit you have that you have traced back to something that happened before you were 18?
Ooh, something that I just addressed recently, literally like this past weekend. I said, man, let me stop thinking short term. Let me stop just focused on the next paycheck or two. And let me start projecting out for the next year, the next 2, 3 years. And once I realized I shifted my mind from that, I realized that made me humble myself and say, I can't just keep it all up in here. You can keep 1 or 2 paychecks in here. You can't keep the next 2, 3 years up in here. So that's when I realized I really need a system.
Name the man who taught you something real, or if nobody did, just say that.
Nah, someone taught me something real at some point. And you know what? Man, because I got a couple names that pop up. Someone that taught me something real, I'm gonna go with our boy. I'm gonna say Edie. His name's Edie, but he just taught me that, man, very from an early age in high school, he taught me that if you give 100%, there's certain people that will meet you and give they 100% to help you achieve your dream. And so he gave 200%. So he drove me. We're in Mississippi. We're in Gulfport, Mississippi. He didn't drive me to D'Iberville. He drove me to Houston. And then a year or two later, he drove me to the Northeast. I didn't say he flew with us. He drove us, just him driving, up and through the Northeast, up and down to the different schools to go visit. And that's what really changed my trajectory. Because before that, it was just a boring school on paper. After that, it was a real dream that I had to get back to.
Wow. That's good. That's good. If a younger guy were watching you right now, what would he learn? You're a Gen Z, but let's just say, somebody 16, 17, 18 on it. Let's just say getting ready to be in high school. They on a come up. What would he learn?
I would say slow down. Don't focus on being, looking impressive. Don't focus on what others are thinking. Just focus on understanding yourself and focus on like your own emotions. Understand yourself the best that you can. When you got that self-knowledge, then you start getting dangerous, and then you can start applying that and being a better version of yourself for the people that you care about, and then strangers, and then so on and so forth.
Okay. That's good. That's good. What's the last thing that made you realize you weren't as okay as you thought?
Man, I would just say, especially being in therapy recently, man, I was talking about a relative that had passed away maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And this therapy session was maybe 2, 3 months ago. So this relative had been dead for 3, 4 years. But me and them were like really close childhood friends. And so it felt really good to just talk it out with somebody and just let that out and really, because you just carry the stuff day to day, but you don't ever address it, or you don't ever just actually sit down and slow down and pause with it. And so that was a moment that really helped me.
All right. Last question. This is a bonus question. If the people who taught you how to be a man could see who you turned out to be, would they be proud, or would they recognize exactly where you're still stuck?
Ooh, that's deep. I think they would be proud. They wouldn't see me as like finished, but they'd be like, man, that young man, he took our teachings and he kept going. Like he didn't just stick with it. He didn't just stay stuck with it.
Yeah. Hey, make sure in the chat, make sure you drop if you heard those questions, if it's one that you want to answer, drop it in the chat, but be honest with your answer, the real answers. So the real one. All right. So what's the Barney code of the day? What you got? What you got for us?
Man, Barney code of the day. Subscribe, like, and comment. That's the first Barney code. Now, but the real Barney code, I'm gonna say,
Hey man, ain't nothing to add to that. Hey, I'm gonna just say I second that. Hey, forgive, love harder, forgive fast, appreciate more, and just live life, man. You only got one of them. They say YOLO, but it really is. You only live once, but it's not. You only live once to do something reckless. You only live once because you don't know how much time we have left on this earth. And so let's make the best while we're here. Let's make the best of while we're here. And man, let's get it, man. Let's get it. Life is just way too short to be holding on to stuff from the past. So as Mr. Ivy dropped, hey, let's forgive, man. Let's forgive more. It sounds easy to do. And don't say nothing about no, man, I'm gonna forgive, but I ain't gonna forget. And then when that topic come up, a person could hear your heart revving up, and you getting up excited, and you getting mad about it, talking about it. You haven't forgiven. It's like you haven't forgiven. This is how you know you're forgiven. When you could talk about that subject and it no longer has the emotional strong arm that it had on you that it once did. That's how you know you resolved what you needed to resolve. Don't mean you won't have your triggers, but for the most part, if it come up 10 times, 8 of those times, you ain't even really thinking about it like that. Hey, until the next episode, we out, man. We out of here. Peace.